Nick Kyrgios walked onto centre court with everything wrong on paper, because the ranking beside his name read 144th that afternoon, and he was 19, grinning like pressure belonged somewhere else. Across the net stood Rafael Nadal, winner of 9 French Opens. Kyrgios had never won a main draw Grand Slam match before, so every sensible tennis brain expected the afternoon to end quickly. 3 hours later, Nadal was gone in 4 sets. That kind of major upset last happened in 1992, 22 years earlier. Then Kyrgios laughed, leaving the court, as if nobody could touch him. But the first mistake started right there for everyone. People treated the chaos like a personality quirk, so he carried the damage in public without explaining it. Before the fines, there was a boy with impossible timing, and crowds had just started rewarding the mask. So the next chapter looked like proof, not warning, because within 2 years, he reached 13th in the world. 6 ATP titles followed. Top-tier trophies with cameras pressed close. Every win made the old label easier to believe because winning made the outburst look almost rehearsed. But theatre is clean, and his life was getting messier. Practice weeks blurred into late nights and missed mornings, while people around him still expected highlights on demand. Cincinnati later cost him $113,000, more than many households earn in years, after he smashed rackets and refused the umpire's handshake. That fine became the biggest mark on his tour file. But tour paperwork described only the public problem on court. He packed the private problem beside his rackets, so he flew with both the talent and the crash. Then the sleeve became part of the uniform, because he later said it covered self-harm scars from cameras. He also said nights of drinking came before tournament mornings, sometimes 20 to 30 drinks before the next workday, and still the trophies did not stop arriving. That is the part people flatten into contradiction because they want genius and ruin in separate boxes. Kyrgios kept putting them in the same bag, then walking out like the bag weighed nothing. In London, he told hospital doctors he did not want to be alive. His father sat nearby crying, and the mask finally slipped. Later, Kyrgios called himself a mess my entire life. So the crisis did not follow success from a distance. He carried it beside the trophies while everyone kept watching tennis. Then came the order most people get wrong, because the hospital corridor came before his best singles run. In 2022, he reached the Wimbledon final after the ward. That result did not erase the breakdown behind it, but it proves the neat version of him fails. The public story was never rebel versus tennis alone. It was one person trying to survive his own gift. Now his body has dragged him far below the old posters with surgeries and swelling, plus a ranking line reading 71st. Wildcards get him into tournaments he once entered automatically, so every clean service game now counts as evidence. On June 10, 2026, he beat Corentin Moutet on grass. He faced a top 35 player and never offered a break point. Next time Nick Kyrgios walks onto grass, check the paper last.